What's up, y'all? This is Alexandria Galore, and I am back with another one. So this video, I'm going to tell you guys about my journey in the hair business, a few of the things that I did wrong that maybe you can avoid, and just like my process of running my business. So the very first thing is we'll just talk about how I run my business. So currently, I am still considered to be a small business. I don't have a brick and mortar business. I've been in business for 5 years, and I've grown over those 5 years, because let me tell you. So starting out, I didn't have any hair on hand, no product in my hand. You had to order it offline, you had to order it through me. I did start off with a website. That was one of my biggest goals. Like, I didn't want to start a business without a website. I felt that that was unprofessional, being that I was asking people to order hair. So it was kind of like, if you're going to order hair, you don't have to go through me, because some people want to change their mind, and I had a lot of that. Like, once you get the price, it's like, I don't know, I could probably find it cheaper. I can go on AliExpress, whatever your choice may be. So I always prefer having a website, so that I don't have to have person-to-person interaction when someone's trying to make up their mind. Now, of course, I still run across those people who haven't made up their mind. They want to have a person-to-person interaction, and they end up just not responding. But I do avoid a lot of that because I have a website. My website has prices. My website has information. It has pictures and things, so that people know what they're getting, know how much it costs, and they know the rules and regulations that I run my business by. And so I don't have to worry about them asking those questions. And once again, it's still going to happen every day. Someone's going to skip over and not read something. It'll be right in their face, or they never saw it. Depends on what the situation may be. But people just don't read. So, like I said, the first year, I didn't have any hair on hand. People were ordering directly through my website. I think it took me about, I want to say 2 years to get, I'll say a year and a half. So a year and a half. So once I got the year and a half mark, wigs wasn't really popular at this time. Like, they were just starting to come on the scene as people wanting wigs. So I just kept bundles on hand. That's why I started my business, Galore Bundles. So I would keep a few bundles on hand. I think I would do like 20 through 30 inch, and I would do straight most of the time because that's my biggest seller. And every now and then I would mix in a few body waves. Okay, so that worked for that era. But I missed out on a lot. People were like, oh, you don't have deep wave, or you don't have curly, you don't have a closure, you don't have a frontal. And I'm like, I got what I said I had. I just got bundles, that's it. Okay, so they don't want that. So now I got to figure out, what can I do? What else am I going to do? Like, I'm stuck here. I have all of this hair, but people don't really want this. They want more. They want something different. So what do? Okay, so I sell to the people who do want it. And instead of worrying about me making a profit from this, I put most of my profit back into my business to get more things. So I would take my money, flip it. Okay, I'm gonna buy me a closure. Okay, I'm gonna buy me a frontal. So now I got a frontal on hand. Now I got a closure on hand. Now people want it because you got the group of stuff or whatever it is that they needed. They want it now. Okay, cool. So by the time I got to, I'll say year 4, because technically, like, we're in 5 now, but we're 4 months into 5. My anniversary is like December the 12th. So yeah, we're months into 5, about to hit 6. So when I got to 4, that's when things really started to turn around for me, because I always expended my inventory anytime I touched the money. Anytime I got a large lump sum of money, like whether it was profit from hair or school refund check, taxes, whatever I got, Christmas money, whenever I got a lump sum of money, I split it up. So yeah, I'm gonna get myself something, because now I'm at a point that I could do that. I can give myself some profit, but I'm also going to order something, whether it was one closure, one frontal, a whole wig, because now we have wigs. Now I'm stocking wigs. So whether it was just one thing or 2 or 3, and I will always ask my vendor, you got anything on sale, any promotions? When she did have promotions, I try to buy 1 or 2 or 3 things at the same time. So some of the tricks that I've learned, and this is just because I've established a relationship with my vendor. I cannot say that this is going to be for every hair vendor that you run across, but once you find one that you do like and they have everything that you need, you can establish a relationship where they give you a lot of lenience. So for me, when I'm ordering things to stock on hand, I put the order in as soon as it sells out, but I will tell her to hold it, or because it takes a couple of days to be made, I don't even have to say hold it. and let it build up to let me have 2, 3, or 4 things out of stock, and then I only have to pay a shipping fee one time versus me every time I'm selling out something I'm paying a shipping fee. Because if you don't know, when you sell hair, the shipping fee starts at $25. Even if you coming in like, let me get one bundle of a 10-inch straight, $25 off the top. So instead of me wasting money taking $25 out of each piece of hair that I sold, okay, let me group it, because these are things I sell on hand. It's not promised to anyone. It's first come, first serve. So if someone's waiting on it, they're gonna have to wait. They didn't order it. Now, I do things differently when people order from my website, because that's a personal order. I'm like, ship it to me ASAP. I don't care if I'm waiting on something or something, or I just got like a on hand something. So it's separate. The only time that it's put together is if it's something that I know it doesn't have to get made, that the customer order, and then the order that I put in for having stuff on hand is about to be shipped. So let's say I ordered a bunch of wigs, they about to be shipped out tonight, and then somebody order 3 straight bundles. I know the factory got 3 straight bundles already lined up to be shipped out, so I added in and let it be shipped out. It's not going to change the shipping because it was getting shipped on the same day either way. It's just in a bigger package now. So yeah, that happens for me now. I do know, like, when I first started out, I would try to finesse and be like, can I get a discount here? Can I pay this for shipping, do that? And they'd be like, we can't do that. So you definitely, like, I would try it out if you just started. You know, put your foot in the water. The biggest thing they can do is say no. But once you establish that relationship with them, they're more lenient to be like, oh, girl, you could pay later. We'll start working on it now. You could pay a shipping. Oh, yeah, you can get $5 off. Like, don't be scared to open your mouth and ask. Now that we talked about vendors, like I said, everyone is different and you have to find what works for you. Let's talk about finding what works for you. So my advice to that is that no matter what it is you're going to sell, whether it be luxury or if you want to make it affordable, whatever it is that you're classifying your business to be, you do want to make sure that, like, specifically for hair, when you're getting a vendor, you want to make sure they have everything you're going to need. So when I first started out, because I've changed my vendor a couple times, but I'm stuck with one now that I've been with for years. But when I first started out, I had 2 different vendors. And I did this because I was selling 2 grades of hair. I don't like the grading system. That's another video. If you want me to talk about the grading system, I definitely can, because I don't like it. But I had 2 different grades of hair, and one was better than the other one, but it was way more expensive in my audience at the time. Like, I was marketing myself to be affordable. So it was like college students and high school students, people who, I was just trying to get people who were shopping on AliExpress to get a little bit more quality, but I didn't want to be overpriced. So the hair that came from the other vendor is what people would consider to be overpriced in that audience. There were people, I had 2, how can you put it? I had 2 regular customers when it came to that specific grade of hair that I was considering to be another collection. Now, to make a long story short, that's a mistake, because instead of me just getting a vendor who had top quality hair with prices that I wanted, I was trying to have quality over here, but it had to be higher prices. And then this was okay quality, but it was lower prices. It was doing too much. You don't want to do too much. You don't want to confuse people, because then they're going to be like, well, what's the difference with this? What's the difference with that? If you're going to do 2 different vendors, I only recommend it if you're doing actual different types of hair. So if you got virgin hair over here and raw hair over here, then of course 9 out of 10 is not going to be the same vendor, because raw hair is a totally different game, and most of the time you don't get raw hair from China. Like, I'm not saying you can't, but in my experience, I've never seen real raw hair come from China, and if it has, it's overpriced because it's not from China. It's just being sold from China. So if you're gonna, like, you don't need 2 different vendors if you're just selling virgin hair. Find somebody who got the price that you like. Find somebody who has all of the hair that you need. So don't just pick somebody because their bundles is good. They need to have good wigs. If you're gonna sell lace wigs, are you just doing frontal wigs? Okay, no, they need to have good full lace wigs. They need to have good 360 wigs. They need to have frontals. Okay, they need to have good communication. Are they telling you what prices change, or are you just going to order and they like, oh, the price didn't change? Because I've dealt with that a lot. That's one of the cons to the vendor I have now. She doesn't speak up. I go to order something and I'm paying attention. You got to pay attention as a business owner. I began to pay attention. I'm like, hey, that's not the price from last time. What's up? She like, oh, price change. Okay, you didn't let me know this. I stick with her because the hair is quality though. So sometimes you got to, you know, weigh your pros and cons and figure out if you're going to stay with them. But absolute no's for me are overpriced hair, that the quality doesn't match the overpricedness. People who don't have a full selection of things, because there's a lot of companies that's like, oh, we don't sell this, we don't sell that, we don't know what that is. Some stuff that's like coming into trend now is tape-ins and clip-ins, and it's another one, but tape-in and clip-ins are becoming a big thing. So make sure your vendor has that if you want to sell that. If you want to keep up with the trends, you got to be with someone who gonna have it all. So and then when we talk about prices, a lot of people are like, I don't know how much hair is supposed to cost. Okay, this isn't a big military secret, so I'll just put it out there. First and foremost, just think about the lowest length of hair. I don't sell 10-inch, so my lowest length of hair is 12, and we'll just talk about bundles. If I'm buying one 12-inch bundle from a vendor, I don't expect to pay over $50. And $50 is really on the high end. I don't expect to pay over $50 because I have to add profit into that, which profit can go all over the place. But a pro tip for profit is that when you make your price for your business, include shipping, like on your end and your vendor's end. So automatic, you might as well say $30. Add $30 to whatever the price is that they gave you. Add in taxes if you're having to pay taxes, or if you're taking taxes, and add in, like I said, shipping and taxes. So let's say that it is $50, because that's the most I'm gonna pay. I automatically got to add 30 to do my profit, but that's just to cover costs. So it costs 50, I'm adding the 30, that's $80. That's off the top though. That's not including what I want to make. So now if it costs $50, maybe I want to make, maybe I want to make the price, let's just say 110, right? So you got your 50 and your 30, that's 80. 110 ain't nothing but $30 more. And that's not guaranteed when you start to add in financing companies. So if you got stuff like Affirm, Sezzle, and all of that, add that in your price, because they want 7 and 10% off the top. So you need to add that in every price you have. Basically, when it comes to pricing, you want to find someone who has super affordable pricing if you want your company to be affordable. If you consider yourself to be luxury and you charging people $120 for a 12-inch, do your thing. I'm not selling you wrong. That's not my market. That's not what I do. But if that's what you're gonna do, just make sure that you're making a profit no matter which way you put it. And it works the same for wigs, I promise. Like, just think about what sounds right when you're talking about a wholesale price. Like, would you buy a $200 12-inch wig and it's just natural color? It ain't HD lace. It's nothing special. It's just a natural color Swiss lace wig for $200 from the vendor. If you buy it from $200 from the vendor, how much you think you're gonna have to sell it to your customers? Let's say you want $100 profit from it. So now you got $300, but then you got to add that $25 shipping. Let's say you on Affirm or whatever, and they want $20 so that people can finance it. So pretty much you can go as high as saying it'll be $350. Who paying $350 for a 12-inch? I live in Florida, so more specifically, I live in Jacksonville, so I'm not paying $250 for a $350 or whatever for a 12-inch wig. No, thank you. But if that's your prerogative and that's what you want to go with it. Especially, and see, that's a good point. Like I said, I live in Jacksonville, so the highest I've seen that's still within market price in my city for a 12-inch wig, like I just raised mine to $150. The highest I've seen is probably about $210. That people will still be like, I buy it because it's like HD or something. But maybe the girls in Atlanta, maybe the girls in Miami, they might be willing to spend $250, $300 even without install. Just know your area, know what the girls are going to pay for, and then also come out of the local mind. If you're going to have a website, it'll be people outside of your city buying stuff. So, think about market price, but if you're starting local, think local, and then just go up from there. So once we think about pricing, outside of pricing, you want to think about how you're going to do your inventory. So moving back to, like I said, it took me a while to get things on hand, but once I figured it out, I created the system. I wanted to be fully stocked between 12 and 30 inch because that's pretty much the norm. A lot of people do try to get, 32 through 40, but I just don't think it's practical to have something like that on hand because it's very expensive. So it's still few and far that people are going to want it, and the people that want it don't want to pay the price for it. So it's not a point of me stocking it and you like, oh, I want a 32, but I only want to spend $300. Oh, you at the wrong place, honey. My 26 inch wig, not even $30. I mean $300. So I'm sorry. But anyways, so the system that I created for my inventory, what works for me, is that when I start 12 through 30, I pick what was most popular. So when I started off, I was kind of just doing here and there until it added up to 12 to 30. So I would keep like 2 short wigs, 2 medium length wigs, and 2 long wigs. So I would do like a 12 and a 14, and it would be, the 12 is always going to be the straight bob. The girls love the bobs. I would do like a 14 inch deep wave because a cute little curly deep wave bob is always an option. An 18 inch, I would do like a body wave wig for the girls who want the little classy curled look, the flybacks or whatever. And I would do like a 20 or a 22, and then I would move down and do 26 and 28. Well, at the time I wasn't stocking 28, so I think I would do like 2 26s or 24 and 26, but I moved up to the point where I had 12 through 30. So if you got a little change and you're trying to figure out what to stock, I would basically say look around what people who have inquired with you and you didn't have it. But if you're just starting off and no one inquired with you, just think about what you see the most in your area and the people that you're going to service. So let's say that you consider yourself to be luxury. A lot of the luxury companies, people go for mid-length. So they're going to be your 20 through 24s. They want kind of natural, but with a little bit of length. So you would focus on stocking those first. You would get you a body wave. If your target audience is strippers, because there's nothing wrong with that. The girls want to spend their money. If it's strippers, then you're gonna more so you'll keep a bob or something, but you want to have like a 26, 28, 30, even get a 32 if that's what you want to do. But you just have to know who you're servicing to keep. For me, I still was focusing on college students or college age people, mid adult. So it varied and it went from 12 to 30, but I would just keep options. That's your biggest thing when you want to start inventory. Don't start getting 2 of the same things until you filled up your inventory. Like now I keep 2 12-inch wigs. I have a couple different 28s, a couple different 26-inch wigs, color and all of that stuff. But I didn't start doing that until I had stocked the natural things, the things that I knew people were going to ask for. They weren't wild cards. So when you start off, you want to stock what you know people are going to ask for. And the best way to figure out what you know people are going to ask for is just to pay attention to what you're being asked of. If you already started and you don't have nothing on hand, or you only have a few things that people come through and they're like, can I get a 26-inch wig? And you're like, I don't have it. Okay, think about it. Do you need it? How many people asked about a 26-inch wig? How many people asked about a long wig? Go ahead and get it. What else? I also feel like you shouldn't. Okay, so before I say this, because I know the girls like to tussle, this is just my opinion. I feel like you shouldn't ask social media what you should buy. Now, when I say that, because I've done it myself, so I want you to be clear on what I mean. When I say that, I mean that particular quote. Don't be like, what should I buy? What should I stock? Instead, give them options. Because like I said, I've done this in the past, but it's hard to get feedback that way. So instead, I think about what people have asked me for. And one of the latest things I've done that with is 613 hair. Because I was only stocking a bob and a mid-lift one. So I know people wanted longer. They wanted 30s, they wanted 26. But I didn't want to stock them because I felt like they weren't going to want to pay for them. And I'm actually seeing that ain't nobody bought it because it's expensive. It was expensive for me to get, so it had to be expensive for me to make a profit. I'm not coming down off of it. It'll sell when it sells. That's another thing. I've become content. I am not throwing deals for people to buy my stuff faster. I'll let it sit for 2 years before I put it on sale. Like if I feel like putting it on sale, yeah. But for the most part, I'm not going to put my product on sale just so I can get somebody to buy it. I'm fine with letting it sit because I know somebody will know my worth. But back to what I was saying. So yeah, like if you have someone asking, and I started to stock color because I had a lot of people asking me like, oh, you don't have this in longer, and I felt like I was missing out. So just see what people are asking instead of being like, what should I stock? And then if you have like a dilemma between the two, that's good to ask people which one. Like you might have a lot of people asking for curly hair. You might have a lot of people asking for deep wave. You can either only afford to buy one, or you're on, like you decided that you're only going to buy one. Well, which one do y'all like better? Which one do you wear more? Ask questions like that. And unfortunately, you still will not 100% know, because people answer questions and they still not going to shop with you. They still don't see themselves shopping with you at any time. So you could be like, what do y'all like? And somebody be like, oh yeah, I like this. And somebody else is like, yeah, I like that. You get it in. Neither one of them buy it. So don't think just because you're asking people and they're answering that that's going to make them buy it. That's why I always say you still have to go hard when it comes to promoting, when it comes to marketing and branding your business. But if you guys have any more questions, because that's pretty much all I can think of for right now. If you have any more questions, just let me know and I'll try to answer them. And if I don't see them, you can put them on my other social media, because sometimes I'm not checking into my YouTube. But yeah, I definitely want to answer any questions that you have about hair. I'll just consider this to be part one. This is all that I could think of to let you guys know about.